In Destiny, you will visit many strange locations, ones that used to belong to us during the Golden Age, but once again became alien to us after the collapse. Here's some insight into those locations. First and foremost is the last safe city. After the darkness found us and humanity collapsed, the Traveller settled low above the earth. Those who survived the collapse, humans, Exer and Awoken, found the Traveller and gathered beneath it to build a new home. It took us centuries to build the city, and the Traveller now lies dormant, silently protecting the city with its protective aura. The walls that surround the city were built by the first Titans, and they gave their lives to defend it. There are different groups of Titans who are assigned to defend the wall, and they all serve under the order of Titan Vanguard Commander Zavala. For example, you may hear Zavala say things like, "Deploy the 5th, the northwest wall is weak." The Twilight Gap is a military base located just beyond the wall of the last safe city. Thousands of Guardians have fallen here, and it's also where the Cabal first made their presence known. Fiesel Crux crafted an exotic rocket launcher known as Yalahorn from the armour of the thousands that fell and gave it to the Guardians that fought the Battle of the Twilight Gap as a gift. Another character called Anna Bray wore this legendary hunter cape, Strength of the Pack, during this fateful battle. Old Russia is the location of the Cosmodrome, a Russian spaceport surrounded by an impressive wall. The colony ships that we see standing tall throughout the Cosmodrome are a product of the technology granted to us by the Traveller, which served as our connection to the other planets and colonies. Unfortunately, that connection was severed during the collapse and left to rust. Now the Cosmodrome is practically a fortress overrun by the Fallen. When the darkness came, people saw the Cosmodrome as a beacon of hope, and many attempted to flee Earth via the colony ships, but their time ran out. At the Cosmodrome gates, the motorway is backed up for miles by the haunting remains of those who attempted to flee. The legend of the 6 Coyotes hunter cape was fashioned in honour of the first 6 hunters who were brave enough to scout beyond the wall of the Cosmodrome post-collapse. In Old Russia, you will mainly encounter the Fallen House of Devils and the Fallen House of Kings, as well as a hive infestation known as the Hidden Swarm. During the Golden Age, humanity built these great AIs called war minds that were built to defend the solar system, and it was thought that they were all wiped out during the collapse when the darkness came. As it turns out, one of them survived, called Rasputin. To this day, Warmind Rasputin still functions, and has been stopping the Fallen from accessing something. Mars is where it all began. We didn't send astronauts there for no reason, they had a mission. We began noticing strange activity on Mars that must have sparked a mad rush to send people there and find out for themselves. As they reached the peak of this mountain, they found it, the Traveller, hanging just above the red planet. After that, the Traveller came to Earth and brought forth the Golden Age. Today, we no longer own Mars. It is now controlled by a militaristic race of planet-cracking war beasts known as the Cabal. They have entire installations set up, such as the exclusion zone in the Meridian Bay, which is guarded by a legion of Cabal called the Sand Eaters. They are not to be messed with. You see that war base? That is in fact a Cabal Imperial land tank. The Cabal have managed to reach an incredible feat of planetary engineering. They have even managed to alter the orbit of Phobos, one of Mars's moons, which is why Phobos is now closer to Mars. Freehold was once a great metropolis, our first city on another planet, and a monument to humanity's achievements. Now it has been buried by the dunes of Mars, and all that can be seen are the peaks of Freehold's tallest skyscrapers. The building's lower levels that lie beneath the dust can still be accessed by venturing downwards from the upper levels. Who knows what you might discover down there. The legendary TITANMARK called Freeholder's Memory was created as a tribute to this city. The Black Garden is one of the more mysterious locations in Destiny, and is heavily protected by the Vex. Although the Black Garden looks like it is located on Venus, it is in fact located on Mars. Apparently, the Vex were on Mars before the Cabal took over. I'll come back to that in a moment. There are a few references to the Black Garden within the game, such as this quote by future War Cult representative Lakshmi 2. "A trillion timelines, and all at war, like 1,000 red flowers growing in a black garden." It's possible that the Vex have some sort of link to the future War Cult. considering they believe in time travel and the Vex are a race of time-travelling robots. The Future War Cult even have a group called the Inner Circle, which only the most trusted and loyal people get into. The Inner Circle contains the Future War Cult's deeper secrets, and not anyone can get in. You must prove yourself. To gain entrance to the Black Garden, you must wake the eye of Zydron, Gate Lord. We don't know what lies at the heart of the Black Garden, but whatever it is, it could be key in discovering what the Vex truly are, and stopping them. Now, despite the fact that Mars is controlled by the Cabal, it seems that the Vex already beat them to it, long before they arrived, as there are these structures called Vex confluxes peeking through the dust, and could be a hint towards some ancient Vex structures that have been buried deep below the sand. The source of these confluxes could change the balance of power throughout the solar system. Charlemagne's Vault is an important location within the Dust Palace and is part of a strike in which you must stop the Cabal from gaining access to the vault. But Charlemagne isn't just a name. In fact, Charlemagne is another warmind created by humanity during the Golden Age to defend the solar system, just like warmind Rasputin. The Cabal want Charlemagne so they can take advantage of his powers and use it against anyone who opposes them. Charlemagne's vault is also said to contain lost treasures, and legend has it that the exotic hand cannon known as Thorn can be found deep within the vault. On Venus, there are lush jungles, and the volcanoes spew blue lava. This is due to the fact that sulfur burns blue. When the traveller arrived, it cleansed the air on Venus, making it bearable for humans to live there. Top scientists who were dedicated would travel to Venus to continue feeding their appetite for knowledge and discovery. An academy was set up on Venus for us to study at, but that isn't the main attraction. It seems that we went the first to visit Venus. When we got there, we discovered strange blocky structures that look ancient, but the technology within these structures are far beyond anything created by humans. And I'm not talking a few hundred years, I mean the Vex are older than humanity. Guardians have reported that an ancient network of relays powered by a heavily protected nexus deep below the surface of Venus appears to be reawakening and could turn Venus into a system that the Vex can control. This structure is the Vex Citadel and it's eons old, but we don't know what it truly is or why it was built the way it is. On Venus you will encounter the Fallen House of Winter who have formed an alliance with the Vex. Venus is also the location of Destiny's most difficult challenge, a raid mission called Vault of Glass, which will require you to be at least level 25 to access it, and you will need 6 players to enter. Establishing a base on the moon was a significant achievement, and the facilities there were important for conducting research. One station in particular, called the Accelerator, allowed humans to use electromagnetic coils to launch payloads into space and other planets at high speeds. The communications tower once served as a relay station between Earth and other colonies. It also has an important in-game function. The height of the tower serves as a focal point for players for easy navigation. These abandoned facilities are now occuped by the Fallen House of Exile, scavenging our lost technology. We haven't been on the moon in centuries, and the reason for that is the place has been overrun by the Hive. Since the collapse, the Hive have been growing in secrecy. They have dug deep into the moon's core and built a fortress called the Hellmouth. You can certainly see where it gets its name. Beneath the moon's surface, the ground has been hollowed out for miles, and Hive activity has caused the surface to crack. When you go there, you can even still see the remains of the International Space Station floating in space. The moon is also dotted with Hive sacrificial altars, which many warlocks have tried to decipher. All warlocks who have attempted to decipher their arcane meaning have fallen to insanity and defeat. It is unknown what the reef is exactly. All we know is that the reef is where the Awoken originated. The story is that some humans thought that they would be able to escape the coming darkness by leaving the solar system, but they did not succeed. Though something happened to them. They were changed forever and came back as the Awoken. No one truly knows what happened there. The reef is ruled by an Awoken character called the Queen of the Reef. Some Awoken heard of the last safe city and chose to return to Earth, whilst others decided to stay in the reef. Earthborn awoken and anyone else is not welcome in the reef, but you can earn the Queen's trust by completing quests for her. You will also be able to earn high level gear from the reef. The only in-game shot that actually gives us a hint as to what the reef is are these shots here of a jump ship and a trio of ships heading into the reef. Now, I did some thinking and looked back at Bungie's panel at GDC 2013, where they discussed different pieces of concept art. At one point, they showed us some concepts they had for a, quote, space city. One iteration of this space city was a starship, the biggest one ever built by humanity, and now its wreck still remains in space, serving as a reminder of the darkness's power. Later, this concept art of a space city evolved into a space station, where players could visit and show off their gear. Again, this concept continued to evolve until Bungie decided on the tower within the last city. Why am I telling you this? Because I think it's possible that Bungie decided to repurpose these concepts and combine this grand starship with a space city, which led to the creation of the reef. So that's what I speculate the reef to be. The wreckage of an enormous starship that has been transformed into a space city, ruled by the Queen. Think of it as like a second tower. When Bungie showed Destiny at GDC 2013, they showed all sorts of concepts for different locations that haven't made it to the final game. And so I thought I would mention them, because although they're not going to be in the launch version of the game, it's possible that they could return in future expansions. Possibly this ship was part of a lost fleet, which the TITANMARK, Spirit of Saturn, was fashioned after as a ceremonial badge. Concept art also depicted a frozen city and a research station on one of Jupiter's moons, Europa. The European Dead Zone is obviously in the continent Europe and is the location of a vault. Sometimes the speaker will even talk about these vaults and ask if they can be destroyed now. There's also another location with the name Vault in it, called Seraphim Vault in Old Russia. Whatever's in these vaults must be important. Future War Cult representative Lakshmi 2 has many war stories, such as the time when London was burnt down by the fallen House of Devils, or when the brave knights defending Mumbai were overrun by the darkness. The Mumbai Push is a location in India which has been reclaimed by nature. Scouts have recently been sent to Mumbai to report their findings. Old Chicago was depicted as an abandoned swamp, and the Overwatch district was going to be a location within the city itself, like a social hub, but it was replaced with the tower. As a Guardian, you must venture back out into the wild frontier, push back our enemies, and reclaim our lost worlds. Be brave, Guardian. Per audacia ad astra.